Welcome everyone from all the corners of the world. This is part of basically what we're learning after COVID, that we can reach each and every one of us wherever we are and have that connection to teach, learn and share knowledge with each other. As Ken said, my name is Nikem. I've been a business analyst for quite a few years, though I did not start off as a business analyst. I trained as a lawyer. I graduated with a degree in law from the University of Buckingham here in England. I went on to attend the Nigerian Law School, where I qualified as a barrister and a solicitor of the Nigeria Supreme Courts. I also later went on to complete my master's in management from the University of Glamorgan. I have worked in several sectors, including social services here in the UK, working as a legal researcher for UNESCO in Paris. But I wasn't quite satisfied. I didn't feel like I was reaching my full potential. So I happened upon this profession as a business analyst, which helps me put all my experience and knowledge into one area because it's forever evolving. And the good thing is you help people, which I also like doing. So what is business analysis? Basically what it is that we help a business make successful change. We help them to align with what they want to do, what they've set out to do as a business. Every business has a strategy in place of what they want to do, what they want to accomplish. So as a business analyst, I would go in to ensure that they align with this mission. We help them define what the changes are, because you have to be very intricate in what you do. If you change one little system or process in a business, it can ricochet and affect every other area. So you have to be you have to be diligent in what you do. You have to be sure of the definition you're putting into place. We also help to design what the changes would look like, what it was and where you want it to be for your business. We help you to implement these changes and realize the benefits you're achieving. Are you achieving the benefits we worked on as the solution? So it's very intricate, the job we do, and I quite enjoy it because for law, it's all about research. It's all about finding out facts and aligning those facts, using data to speak to people, to measure what you're doing. So that is basically what I do. So a business analyst role is basically being a bridge between the business, which would be a stakeholder. A stakeholder is maybe a director or someone who the change will affect is a business. And then technology would be setting up systems, doing processes. So these are the things we do. And in order for the business and the technology to understand each other's language, because they speak in different languages, we help to translate that and be the bridge and the intercessor kind of for the business. As you noticed, I did say like COVID has made it more of a digital world where everything now is basically online. Most businesses have had to adapt to that change. So, you know, even your bank, when they're updating things, that's like a business analyst has gone in, they've looked at what the system is in place right now, how it's not working. We've gone through everything, and then we now suggest a solution for the bank, and they now change maybe some processes. It's the same for mobile phones as well. Your mobile phone app, if you notice, Apple is always having an upgrade. That is when we're doing iterations, we're making small changes, fixing bugs and everything. So that's part of our role as well. No, so even if it's like, for example, a bank wants to install an ATM in a certain area, we would do the background checks. Is it following the legal procedure? Is it in line with the legal regulators? Is it in line with what are the things that can also affect it? Like, is it in an area where people are living? Is it a residential area? Is it a commercial area? We look at all these things. And also, in order to be able to do this, we study the domain. When I say domain, it means it means the business it is, so that we can understand the problems the business is having and help them find a solution to it. So part of my role is also not just working with stakeholders as the owners of the business, and I'm also working with developers, people who are creating, who are IT based workers. I'm working with data analysts, those people who work with and understand data, data engineers. These are people who are transforming the data into a way that it can be ingested by the developers. I'm working with data architects. These are the people who like build the business architecture and, you know, make sure we're being falling in line with regulators and just adhering to all the regulations in place. This, we work as a team, so we all have to be on the same page. We get a stakeholder or a business owner to say what they want, agree to what they want and what we want to put in place. So we're all working as a team with regards to the solutions we have put in place and make sure we keep in line with the time and everything that's been set. So as a business analyst, we often find that people think they know the solution. We don't brush it to the background. We kind of like provide, you know, kind of way another solution that makes more sense to them. We back it up with data, we back it up with facts, we back it up with information that will let them see the light in the way we're going. So it doesn't mean that what you think is a solution is necessarily the solution. So we provide you what you need, not what you want, to get you to that place where you want to go to. So we have different ways of working. For example, like I said, with banks and mobile phones, you get regular updates. That's called an agile environment where you're making changes as you go along. But if we're looking at things like aeroplanes, that's, you know, a bit more complex than a business. You're talking about an aircraft, building an aircraft. This is done in a waterfall environment where you have to complete one phase, go to the next phase, complete all the phases. Actually, if you notice that there's something wrong with phase one, you still have to complete everything and then go back to phase one. Whereas with an agile environment, even though we're working on phase two, if there's anything wrong in phase one, we're correcting it. So it's kind of like flexible in the way we're doing the solutions. So what kind of skills would you expect a business analyst to have? We would have communication skills, both written and oral. Would have facilitation skills, which is one of the things I'm doing right now, talking to a large group of people or having a controlled group to test things. We'd also have a domain knowledge. As I explained, we have to understand what kind of domain or business we're working in and trying to find a solution for. We also need to have commercial awareness, what is going around in the world with these kind of businesses and how you can have we can give you an edge to beat your competitors. We do stakeholder analysis, just to understand who our business owners are, how they want to be communicated with, how they want to be kept informed. We also manage the way we communicate with them and feed them information. Some stakeholders, like a director, would not have the time to sit with you every day, but someone who is like a manager would have that time, so he can cascade anything upwards and spread the information. We also gather requirements. When I say requirements, these are the things you a business owner would want to see, what the solutions they think would be good for their organization. We also have investigative techniques, which could be observation, that is like shadowing a worker. Sometimes when you're doing something, it becomes the norm for you. And when they say list out your the work you do, you can't, you just forget, because it's, you know, it's second nature to you. So there's that opportunity for tacit knowledge to be passed on. We analyze data and process this data. We do some modeling, which I will cover in the next slide, to bring about the strategic change. So what is a strategic context? Strategy is basically what you have in place for what you want your organization to achieve. So the long-term, Johnson et al. Tells us that this is the long-term direction of an organization. Porter has also said it's an integrated set of actions aimed at increasing the long-term well-being and strength of an enterprise, enterprise being an organization as well. So in order to understand what organizations are going through and the kind of strategic investigation that we will need to do, we have different ways of finding out this information. So the first one I'll cover is SWOT, which is basically understanding the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that are present for that organization I'm working on. We could use PESTLE, which is political, economic, sociological, and cultural, technology, legal, and environment threats out there that affect that organization and the business they carry out and how they can satisfy their customers. Or we can use VMOST, which is the vision, the mission, the objective, strategy, and tactics. The vision is what the organization is aiming for. The mission states what domain the organization is in and what they do. The objectives are their specific goals that they want to achieve. The strategy would be the long-term plans of that organization and how they want to achieve their mission and fulfill their vision. The tactics are basically short-term solutions, that detailed plans that they can use to carry out this strategy. When we're talking about puppets, this strategy is looking at the people. So these are the people working in the organization, their knowledge, the skills. Remember, I mentioned that people, we can observe people in the way they work, so they can pass on tacit knowledge. The organization would mean the structure, the culture, the business model they have in place. Processes would be processing in place, like, for example, let's say you want to watch a film. So in order to watch a film, you have to trigger an event, which is going to the box office. You pay for a ticket. So what's the processing you getting your ticket? That would be, you have to pay. Then the person would have to ring up the register. They would have to choose the film you want to watch, give you the price, and then you would pay, you receive your ticket and be able to go in.
Apa ya?
Sorry? So technology and information will be like the data and the information used that are recorded. So for a cinema to, find out how well they've done, they would have to find out how many people came to the film, how many people watched it. That kind of data will tell you the success of the film. And technology is what we use to support the organization, ringing up the till and everything and the process. That's all about technology. So you might say, okay, why do we do all this work? This is called a gap analysis. This is the work we do to find out where you are and where you need to be, and the gap in the middle that will help you reach where you want to go. As I said, when we gather requirements, we have to identify the stakeholders. Stakeholders, as I explained earlier, are people who will be impacted by any changes we make or any work we do for this organization. We can do interviews, which are like one-on-one, which in some cases helps people be more vocal about what the trouble and root causes and blockers they're experiencing in the process they use. We can do workshops. That will be kind of like a wider scale, maybe like 10 people in a workshop who are from different areas of the organization. You can have people from accounts, production, people from engineering, just different walks of skills in the organization. And there you can also pinpoint people who are more vocal and people who are quiet, and you're able to go forward later on and meet the more quiet people and get their own perspective and their own views and their own ideas. Round robin would be where we're all just giving information, giving solutions, being facilitated, and just passing. Okay, maybe one person says something and then you build on that and build on that and build on that until you gather all the requirements you need. You can have a brainstorming session where people are just throwing ideas out there. After all this, I as a business analyst would now go back and whittle out anything that's repetitive, anything that's not possible or feasible, and then just outline everything and take it to the person who we call them the owner, and that would be the person that is paying for this solution that we want to put in place. So with solutions, like I said, we elicit the requirements, we analyze, we demonstrate by doing like mock-ups. This could be a mock-up for me as for a workshop. It's not actually the finished product that I would use. This would be a mock-up to say, okay, this is what I have in place for this workshop I'm giving. And then, we would build a live product from there. Once we get the validation from the product owner, which they agree to all the solutions we have in place, then we would build a prototype. A prototype is basically like a wireframe, something like this, but more intricate, that would have like the data, how the data would look, or the solution we have in place, what the steps would be. When we build an MVP, MVP is a minimum viable product. We use a user researcher. She would go out, talk to the people, talk to customers, just to see what needs to be in place. Let's say we're building a dashboard. We would also use a user accessibility testing. But if it's like a normal business, we would do that as well. We would use user accessibility testing, which means what we've put in place, is it meeting the benefits that we said? Is it doing the work that we've set out for it to do? And like I explained earlier, there's the incremental life cycle. Basically, we're building on what we've built before, looking for bugs, making it better as we go along. So not to take too much of your time, that kind of like sums up what I do as a business analyst. It's a lot more intricate than this. It does do a deep dive into the business I'm looking at and helping them to achieve what they want to achieve, whether it's to have more customers or to have greater customer satisfaction or to have processes in place that helps them achieve the mission and vision of their organization.